What up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. While you're coming in, make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you'll be notified any and every time I post another video. But let's get right into it. I know I said that yesterday's video was going to be my only video, but I just could not stay away. I have some time, so I'm out. So I figured might as well do another video. But let's get right into it. It says a recent article from Cointelegraph says Bitcoin whales plan to buy Bitcoin higher as fresh Mt. Gox payouts add to market fear. Really, Mt. Gox is back in this FUD again. So, for those that don't know, Mt. Gox is one of the very first exchanges that would allow people to purchase Bitcoin. Back then, Bitcoin was the only cryptocurrency out there. Mt. Gox was created back in 2010 by Jed McCaleb. Jed McCaleb was part of the Ripple team. He actually created the Ripple platform, but then moved over and created his own competitive, brother or sister coin, but they're rivals to the Stellar Foundation, where they created XLM. But here's the thing. After Jed McCaleb created Mt. Gox. Now, back then, Bitcoin, back in 2010, remember, everybody, Bitcoin, you couldn't really do all the things that you can do with Bitcoin now. The only thing that you can do, and I believe hardware wallets were not out at that time. You could only move Bitcoin over to your hard drive. And the hard drives, sometimes those hard drives on the computer crash and go out, and people would have thousands, if not millions, of Bitcoin on their hardware. So you just got to remember, that's how old Mt. Gox is, but that's how recent the technology has changed. But here it goes. Here it says Wells reposition their Bitcoin buy bids higher as price action appears to board those seeking a continuation of the Bitcoin bull market. Yes, it seems like just about every year this Mt. Gox fear comes out, and pretty much Mt. Gox back in 2010 was created. Jed McCaleb sold Mt. Gox to another person. I forgot the person's name, but then at that time, it kept going for some time. But then in 2014, the big deal happened. In 2014, I think it was late April 2014, the exchange got liquidated, causing everybody to not have their funds or crypto. They say it was liquidated. It could have been hacked. I want to say that it was hacked, but they use the term liquidated. Could you imagine buying in? And this was back when Bitcoin was pennies onto the dollar, and just thinking about it just frustrates me because I was into this type of technology back in 2010. I was looking for the next tech that's going to boom, and I heard Bitcoin back then, and I just okay, Bitcoin, whatever. But could you imagine back then in 2010 when Bitcoin was like pennies onto the dollars, and you spend $5 worth, and you end up having tens of thousands of Bitcoin on this exchange? Well, I probably wouldn't have had it on the exchange because I still have a computer back when I was in college, and I was in college from 2005 to 2009. So I still have that laptop. So I can only imagine what it would be like having a computer a year later after I graduated for that long. I still have it, and it still works. My hard drive hasn't crashed. It was a Dell computer. I'm not shilling Dell, but those computers last if you want to have longevity like that. But now I'm an actual Apple fanboy, so I got everything Apple. Boom, my phone and my laptop. But I'm moving too far into that. But could you imagine buying Bitcoin for a penny, but then years later you can't get it off of your exchange because it was liquidated? That's why we and everybody else in the market says to make sure you get a hardware wallet. I don't care if it's a Ledger, I don't care if it's a Trezor wallet, whatever reputable wallet that you see, and those two are really reputable hardware wallets that give you that they give you your security seeds that's secured on the actual hardware wallet, so you can actually protect your crypto on the blockchain. That's why we say not your keys, not your coins. This is where that phrase came from, people. This is where it came from. It's really important. And as fear builds up about this Mt. Gox thing that happens, this happens every year, maybe twice a year, the beginning of the year and at the end of the year. And we're heading towards the end of the year. The next thing we're going to hear about is probably going to be January or February. It always happens because these are people that put in $5, $20, $100 and had like $107,000 worth of 100,000 Bitcoin when they were only worth $5. These people want their money. But I guess the lawyer, I think is, I forgot the lawyer's name, but at first they were saying, okay, well, you spent $5 here, so we're going to give you this $5 back. No, if I was on this exchange and I spent $100 and now my $100 is now 100 million, I want my 100 million. And that's where that fear comes, because you got people claiming, which is true. You got people claiming and want their actual retail value of what their Bitcoin costs versus how much they invested in there. Yeah, because if I invested $100 into Bitcoin back then in 2013, and now that $100 is now 200 million, I don't want my $100, I want my 200 million. And that's where that fear comes from, because with everybody who got in early, who left their crypto on an exchange, Mt. Gox, which this was like the only exchange people could actually have to go to and actually to buy Bitcoin. So you could just think the traffic and the amount of people that was going through there if you didn't meet up in person to actually buy it, which would be more dangerous. But all those people that bought it and had their money on that exchange that's now considered liquidated, all that pressure builds up and 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 builds up. And now when they get their money, that's going to add pressure towards the downside, because you got more people selling. Then you got to think that's life-changing money. You can't expect people to hold on to that type of money, 100 million, when they only put in $10 or like $100. That's pressure. And then since Bitcoin is actually evolving and actually turning into a household name, some of these big whales pertaining to this article are anticipating this pressure. So they're actually buying, they're going to be buying more, which is great. But at some point, Bitcoin is actually going to be to the point where people cash out at 100 million and Bitcoin is still stabilized and only drops a few dollars. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. And I believe that's probably why the market is actually down now. I don't think it has anything to do with the political stance of it. I think it has a lot to do with FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt when it comes to the Mt. Gox payout and when it's happening. That's really what I believe. Am I bothered by it? No, but new people coming in need to know what happened, with Mt. Gox. Mt. Gox was created in 2010 by Jed McCaleb. It was then sold to somebody. I forgot the name of it. I'm sorry. But then in 2014, they became liquid. I'm sorry, they got liquidated, or or quote unquote hacked, which caused everybody to leave, which caused everybody who left their tokens on that exchange, they can't access it. So that's why it's really important for you as a retail investor to do your due diligence and do your research. I'm saying this over and over because this is where it came from, not your keys, not your coins. So you have to buy a hardware wallet. Trust me, they're expensive. They may not be in your budget, but also you not being able to cash out on your coins is not also going to be in your budget either. So think about that. It's important. A Ledger wallet, or a Trezor wallet. The Ledger Nano X's cost like $120. The Trezor, they have different ones, cost between $99 and maybe $150. Do your due diligence. It's really important. But here it says BT showed no sign of tracking 60,000 resistance on November 23rd as the defunct exchange Mt. Gox returned to haunt price action. I'm actually starting to believe that the word Mt. Gox is actually used to actually lower the price, to actually scare people, because I don't think like it's been years since since the lawyer came out, maybe about since 2018. I don't think they're going to be getting their money back anytime soon. They were supposed to get it back last year, which dropped the market. It dropped the market a lot, but I don't think they're going to be getting it this year or next year. It's just because, for one, we're waiting on regulatory clarity, and with that regulatory clarity, they can actually disperse back the amount of money. Like that would actually drop Bitcoin, but then at the same time, the new tech behind Bitcoin with Taproot upgrade and how it's going to be, doing smart contracts, NFTs, it could actually stabilize it. And excuse me. And now we got El Salvador actually adopting Bitcoin and making it legal tender. That could actually help stabilize it also from actually dropping astronomically, because this type of news, if Mt. Gox would have came out with this news back when Bitcoin, actually it did come out with this news back when Bitcoin hit 20K, and this was part of the news the following year, it actually dropped it back down to 3,500. So, but this type of news doesn't move the market as much as it did some years ago. I would say this news probably made it go down 1%. And that's not a lot compared to what this news did to it 3 years ago. So we're getting better. We're moving further. But it says some data from the markets and trading view showed that Bitcoin again reversing progress, which had produced a local high of 59,500 on Monday, returned towards to 55,000 later on in the events of the Mt. Gox news. So okay, so yeah, it dropped it, but it wasn't mind blowing that I even noticed or that anyone else noticed about it. But it was a drop enough to know, oh, something's happening, and come to find out it's this Mt. Gox news again. And then a recent quote, it says here, the rehabilitation trustee will then make repayments to rehabilitation creditors holding allowed rehabilitation claims in accordance with the rehabilitation plan. And it just pretty much says an announcement will be made to rehabilitation creditors on the details of the specific timing, procedures, and amounts of such repayments. Well, honestly, like that's so complex. Like that's brutal. Just saying we're going to make an announcement about when we're going to make an announcement when we're going to start repayment to investors who actually held on Mt. Gox's exchange. That's all they should have said. Like, that's really it. But I'm happy for these people that are going to be getting something back. Do we know how much they're going to be getting back? No. But this is pretty neat. Dang, I could just only imagine. You got people having life-changing money just waiting to be handed to you, and that you want your life-changing money, but you can't really do anything about it because you can't hold it. That's why I keep saying this in the face. I get Bitcoin has a lot of utility, liquidity and mass adoption, but when you don't have your funds or your crypto secured, a rug pull can happen at any moment. At any moment. And Bitcoin has made strides since 2010, since 2014, since 2017. Heck, even since 2020 and 2021, and 2021 is almost over. But the thing is just not, if you have it on the exchange, anything can happen. And I hope that, for my new subscribers that are coming in, because I get them daily and I really appreciate every subscriber that comes in and actually likes and hits that subscribe button. And if you're watching this right now and you're contemplating on subscribing, just hit the subscribe button, because I got videos coming out constantly, but and I thank you for actually subscribing and actually liking my content. But, for the new people that are actually contemplating on getting in, that's the first thing that you really should do is do research on what a hardware wallet does for crypto and how it allows you to protect your crypto from a Mt. Gox issue. Just do your research on it. Hardware wallets are safe. They're great. It's just like you carrying around your own wallet or you putting it in a safe. But that's what I got to say about that news. I was wondering why Bitcoin dropped not drastically, but by a few percentage that ways. And it was because of the FUD, Mt. Gox. Mt. Gox is going to continue to come up over and over and over again, maybe twice a year until it gets resolved. But it's always because they're trying to drop the market. It's FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. They want your Bitcoin. They want your crypto. It's up to only you can determine whether or not you sell it or not. But let's move on right to the next one. Here says another article. Back into the NFT market. It says NFT music marketplace Royal raises $55 million in a Series A round. Main investors include VC giant Andreessen Horowitz, in addition to musical artists the Chainsmokers, Nas, and Disclosure. That's actually great. The market is actually changing. I wonder what these artist platforms are going to use. Which platforms? Because I know Tory Lanez used the Ethereum blockchain, and he sold his first ever NFT album for $1. And he made $1 million within 56 seconds. Then you have NFTs coming up in music videos, which is pretty dope, of how to buy a Bored Ape with MoonPay. Like you got NFTs showing up in music videos. Then you're gonna have actual artists doing NFTs for music. It's gonna be amazing. Now I'm hoping. I don't know what blockchain they're going to be using, but I'm hoping that they, use their options, because you got the Ethereum blockchain, you got the Cardano blockchain, you got the XRP ledger, you got the Solano blockchain. But Ethereum's blockchains for NFTs are extremely high right now. So you have other options. I'm not, like I always tell you, I'm not bashing Ethereum, but just Ethereum, it is what it is right now. Gas fees are high. Like I tried to do a $200 transaction, and my gas fees were like $50. That's okay. I'm not even gonna touch that. Like it's like I'm stuck. Like Ethereum has a lot of utility, liquidity, and mass adoption, but why take part of that when the gas fees are astronomically high? That's just my take on it. But here it says here, on-chain music platform Royal has announced a Series A funding round led by venture capitalists. Royal also allows fans to buy music rights via non-fungible tokens, what we call NFTs. Its co-founders, entrepreneur J.D. Ross and DJ Justin Bilal, who goes by the stage name 3LAU. Okay. It says announced November 23rd, they had closed a $55 million Series A funding following a $16 million seed round in August. Like, technology's moving, people. Like, the game is changing. Like, I get that, we have, there's Apple Music out. There's, lost my train of thought. Pandora out. There's, of course, YouTube has music out. Like, there's other, Spotify. There we go, Spotify. There's Spotify's out. Everything is digital. But what happens when the artist has full control and they have their masters, and then they turn around and completely weed out the middleman, and you don't even have to have artwork for real for the NFTs that's actually coming out? What happens? That's just like saying, how Bitcoin is to bank the unbanked, to weed out the middleman. NFTs is like a Bitcoin, but it's for artists who want to weed out the middleman. A non-fungible token that turns a physical, tangible asset and turns it into a non-tangible asset that shows their artwork and their creativity behind it. Could you just imagine the type of power that actually brings back to the artist itself? Like, you don't have to worry about distribution fees. You don't have to worry about giving money to a record label. This is if you own your own masters. You don't have to worry about when something gets released, because you as the artist, and I'm only saying this because my wife, she's an artist, she's a musician, she's an actress, she's amazing. She got some songs that's about to come out that I'm not going to say what it is. But could you imagine all of that wrapped around? and then you saying when you're going to release it and how much you're going to charge and how many you're going to create, that then becomes valuable in itself. Because what happens is, with the NFT market going, when you sell an NFT and a person makes an NFT limited or rare, the person who created that NFT and sells it to a consumer, that consumer owns ownership of that particular album. But then if it's rare and there's only, let's just say like there's only 1 million, and this person is well known, that person can then sell it in the aftermarket for another price. But check this out. The creator of the NFT, in this case, the musician or the artist, gets a 5 to 10% commission fee for that person who bought it and then selling it for aftermarket price. So that then puts a whole new world of creativity, entrepreneurship, and all of that in one. Like, that gives back the power to the actual artist. And NFTs are powerful. I don't understand why people are saying that they're scams. I don't understand why people are saying that you can just right click and do JPEGs. That's possible. But when it comes to music and the actual picture, they're on the blockchain, so you know where they come from. Like, it's just absolutely crazy. And the power of NFTs are here. The power of NFTs is to actually weed out the middleman, to give the power back to the artist. I like it. I like where it's going. This is absolutely amazing. I hope, well, actually, it's not that I hope, I know that this is going to be something huge. But yeah, I just wanted to give this article out and let y'all know about this. Absolutely insane that NFTs are taking off, and it's not just art. It's with music. You can turn anything into an NFT. Like, literally, you can turn anything. And it's absolutely insane. This brings power back to the people. Like this quote says, it says, allow fans to co-own music with their favorite artists by leveraging blockchain technology to grant music rights and aligning incentives between fans and artists. We're starting off with a curated group of artists of our initial sales, but we plan to be opening up to the platform to more artists in the future. Like, it's simple. Like, the future is here. NFTs are here. NFTs, again, will weed out and block the middleman when it comes to songs and to music. Like, it's really simple to release an NFT music or NFT album online. You can pretty much you can create anything into an NFT. Like, it's just a process of uploading said information, said software to an NFT platform. I mean, it's more technical behind that, but you can literally, if you have a computer, if you have something that you want to turn digital, like a physical asset or something that you want to turn digital, you can. If you have music, you can just literally upload it from your computer to a certain blockchain. You got to code it. You got to set up a Ethereum wallet, Cardano wallet, anything like that. It's really simple. Like, it's technical, but it's literally, it's stuff like that online that you can actually figure out how to actually do that. But like I said, this is exciting. The NFT market is not going anywhere. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if anybody says that they can't, that they can't trust NFT. Again, like I tell people all the time, we don't like something that we don't understand. It's that simple. If people actually literally take the time to understand what blockchain technology is, what Bitcoin is, what crypto is, what NFTs are, there's gonna be scams in any type of new technology. But just because something's new, that doesn't mean that it's a scam. NFTs will change the game for artists today as we know it, and it already has. It gives the power back to the artist community, the hip hop world, the music industry, all of that jazz. I'm just saying, please do your research on NFTs. I'm not telling you what to do, what to invest in, but NFTs are the future. Crypto's the future. Bitcoin is the future. Bitcoin is now. But that's all I'm going to say about that. We're going to get to the prices, and I'm going to let you go. The current market price is 2.5 trillion. We're still not at the 3 trillion mark, but once we get there, we will get there. Just hold on, because we're coming. Hold on, we're coming. Right now it says Bitcoin's at 56,489. We got Ethereum at 4,166. We got Binance Coin at $578. Solana at $213. Cardano at $1.78. Last night it was about $1.82. I thought it was going to go to the $2 mark, but we're going to get there. I want to say there was an article about Cardano. There was 72% Cardano staked, not locked like the Ethereum blockchain, but it's staked. You can move those anywhere that you want to move. So you can buy, sell, trade, do whatever you want to do, but they're not locked. But I don't think people are going to be selling anytime soon. But do your research on it. I'm not a financial advisor. XRP is at $1.05. Polkadot's at $39.32. We also have, let me see. Yeah, the market is a little down. That's okay. When Bitcoin goes down, the rest of the market goes down. It's because of the FUD about Mt. Gox. We got Dogecoin at 22 cents. We got Avalanche at $128.49. We got Shiba Inu under a penny. That's down 4.82%. We also, that's still down, but there's still, liquidity. Look at that. Crypto.com. The crypto coin is at 77 cents. It's getting close to $1. They have been doing a lot of stuff lately. They have not been able to stay out of the news, and that's a good thing. No publicity is bad publicity. They've been in movie theaters. They just bought the rights to change the name from Staples Center to Crypto.com beginning on Christmas Day for 20 years for a $700 million deal. That's $36 million a year. That's absolutely insane. We got Luna at $41.19. And we got Litecoin coming in another 15th spot at $209.46. That is all I have today, people. Again, thank you for coming in. If you made it this long, please make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button, and then make sure you click that notification bell so anytime I post another video, you'll be notified when I drop one. So please make sure you do that for me. And if you haven't seen my previous video, it should be popping up somewhere around here now. But like I said, that's all I got. As always, stay focused, stay locked in. Peace.